barefoot walking, blindfold barefoot walking across the meadow.
Yeah.
And then we touch different things and we smell different things.
Sensorama, we used to do it at drama college.
Yeah, so we awaken
Literally
all the
that.
senses.
So we did it with the National Trust over in their botanical gardens back in the
beautiful.
day, with the lovely Sue. Is that you filming? Right, because I'm just going to say, we did this with the National Trust at Laycock with a group of Japanese students. So there's a lot of trust, obviously,
Yep.
but the Sensorama in the biological gardens, then we also got them to feed and to touch and taste things as
Yes,
well.
that's what we do. Yes, we do fruit mint and herbs, essential oils to smell.
Wicked.
And then all that border there we've planted for the bees.
That's beautiful.
Bee and butterfly friendly.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Try and do what we can.
Irises as well.
Yes.
Are they irises?
We've had a whole host of random plants in there. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Wow. So you know this is a podcast that the actual song, Lauren, Cosmic Shower that Melanie C from the Spice Girls and from her own mother sings, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, just another speck in the cosmic shower, all the universe held within the flower's head. Get a close up at this flower's head. Come on now, you little flower. Little flower, look at that. Eh? That's what I'm talking about. Not just me, Spice Girls as well. Right. You better introduce yourself. Are we introducing now or are we going to go back and introduce in a minute? Because you don't know what the sound's like. Yeah, let's do that. It's probably garbled.
We also do intention setting, so they have a ribbon and they then put their intentions into the ribbon and then tie them onto a tree or whatever they choose to tie them onto.
Yeah.
Which we leave on for a couple of weeks and then we obviously untie them so that the wildlife and everything is safe.
What happens if they want to kill wildlife? Their intention is to deliver.
We don't do that.
Yeah, okay, let's get another flower's head. Look at this flower's head. Look at that. It's like a gerbera.
Yeah, they're like gerbers, but
they're not.
I think they're called 5 o'clock plants.
Go closer. Get as close as you can to that. That is genius. I love it. I'm getting in your way. Wow.
And our beautiful dahlias as well.
Beautiful is right. This is such a joy. Do you do this yourself? You do all the gardening?
Most of it, but not all of it. I do try to do it, but
Yeah?
I don't have always.
I don't have always managed
So we
it.
touch these with blindfold.
Yeah.
Those
Beautiful
ones, so
stuff,
they
don't
get
they?
those. And we often touch the border line as well.
Yeah.
A bit spiky.
Yeah.
So we can do that one as well.
You got your lavender. Beautiful.
So we have those all over, and we normally do little bundles of lavender
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
nice pop. Can you
So-
smell it? Get down and smell that.
So we do like little lavenders. When I do the retreats, they often have
Yeah.
little lavender bits on their pillows as well.
So you know, Maya, my partner, comes
Yes.
from Var, which is, well, she comes from Croatia, which is big on lavender.
Oh,
So
okay.
they've got every sort of type of oil and soap and whatever you can get. But Var, the island that we work with for that wonderful school, does loads, got loads of
Oh,
lavender
wow.
and stuff.
It's got so many medicinal
This
properties.
is a fruit tree, is it not?
I'm not sure what that one is, to
That
be fair,
looks like a fruit tree to me.
but it's never
never
given
bore any
anything.
fruit.
But it's doing well this year,
Well, maybe it's
and
not.
this tree's doing well as
Very
well.
lush, isn't it? Well, that's, you know what that is. I thought it was an ash, but
Oh yeah, he's
I-
ash. No, you're right, he's ash.
yeah,
I was going to say it's
that's
one or the
going to
other.
be humongous, isn't it?
Yeah, well we had to cut it right back
Because
a
of
couple
the
of years ago because of
ash
the disease.
dieback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it's just come back and done really well. Which is really
shame,
good.
isn't it? Right, and this
Yes.
beautiful hedge here, which
Yeah.
is also a sound barrier.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, wait a minute.
So we often do drumming circles down this end
Yeah,
because we've got obviously the protection.
yeah.
We have the bell tent up the top when we're
Yeah.
doing that, and then we've got a little fire pit as well, so we do stuff with that.
Fire pit. I don't know what you can hear because it's a bit windy, but not so windy here actually, it's good. But come closer, Trudi. Trudy Scrumptious. You're Trudi. No, the name really is Trudi Scrumptious. It's not.
I
But
get
it
called
could
it
be.
all the time.
Do you?
I do.
I bet you do
yeah.
though. You have got a scrumptious sort of personality.
Ah, thank you.
No, it's true. It's really lovely. Because we've come to know you via. Wait a minute. Here's
Yeah,
some
we've got
mushrooms.
Nice, lovely mushrooms as well growing as well. Next door used to be a mushroom farm many years ago, so we'd still get mushrooms growing, which is pretty
Very
awesome.
interesting.
So we do have the odd foraging.
Yeah, but we do. Through the lovely Sam Coleman from Tracks and Can Do Arts, met you at Platinum House, isn't it? With the
That's
wonderful.
correct, yes.
I can't forget his name. What's his name? Stuart. Yeah, I was going to say it's Stuart. God, that's terrible. The Wolves fan, young Stuart. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to have a little smell of
Yeah, I was
this.
going to say, smell those ones because they are really good.
Ah,
So
you
pretty.
have, that is old time,
Yeah.
beautiful rose, my friend.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
So we do as much as we can to encourage bees, butterflies, wildlife, birds,
Bees, yeah.
any
Excellent. So
wildlife
there's that
really.
in touch with nature bit. There's a great view out there, isn't there? Except for that pylon. Besides that, you've got a beautiful view. What is that?
I believe it's part of Salisbury Plain
Yeah.
because we do get lots of noise sometimes.
Boom,
On
boom.
Saturdays,
Well, now you know what it's like to live in Ukraine.
Yes.
Look at that bird. You see that bird go down then?
Yeah, we've had a buzzard around this morning already.
Wow, that bird was a bird of prey, and it wasn't preying, it was killing.
We get owls and bats and
Beautiful.
foxes and badgers and
Oh,
deer.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So it's all very pretty.
Yeah, there's a bird of prey there. It looks like it is a buzzard, in
I
fact.
would say it's a buzzard.
Yeah. Yeah,
He was swooping earlier and looking, and then just on the pole over there.
yeah, the bird that I just looked at though was going like a falcon, going or a. Anyway, let's cut for 2 seconds. Welcome to the S.H.O.P, the social hub of positivity. I want you to pay special attention to the song that Melanie C, the glorious Melanie C, sings for Can Do. It's called Cosmic Shower. It's still available if you want to buy it. However, here's the thing. The words in that relate very much to this wonderful person's endeavours. This is Trudi Speirs. Speirs,
Correct.
isn't it? I just want to say things. This is a shamanic stroke Native American type vibrational drum, but it's also a communication tool. Anyway, I'm kind of blown away because me and Lauren on the way over here, and this is Bromham, which is near Chippenham or near Devizes or between Devizes and Chippenham and Cairn, in the beautiful English county of Wiltshire, which of course is in England, which of course as a man-made construct is a country that is on planet Earth, which as you know is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, is it not, Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
Through the cosmic shower. Ladies and gentlemen, over to you, Trudi. I'm not going to speak for at least 10 seconds.
That long.
Count it, everyone. Everyone's there, he's lying.
Hi everyone. Welcome. What would you like to know?
I would like to know, now you've hopefully we see some of your outside stuff and get the idea that you have bell tents and you do, it's called the 5 elements.
Yep.
Right, so tell these wonderful people listening, watching, because it's on Spotify as well. Hello Spotify. Hi Ed, how you doing? Thanks for mentioning us. It's alright Spotify, that's what I'm here for. Trying to publicise good things and highlight shortfalls in the community provisions, particularly in the councils. Anyhow, tell us why, who, why, what, when and how.
I started holistic therapies. I started my journey with Reiki, a non-invasive healing method. But the dates back to thousands of years ago. I learnt that because I had a knee injury and I was blown away by how it affected me and fixed me.
Yeah.
So I learnt that before we moved to Wiltshire. And then I decided to add more therapies as I went along on my journey. So I offer Reiki, pet Reiki, Reiki drum healing, Reiki drum journeys, chakra balancing, ear candles, hand reflexology, sound healing, and oracle card readings and spiritual past life regression.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, and what? No, great. So I understand a lot of them. The ear candles, just as a personal thing, is that to get the wax out the ear?
There's a little bit of controversy over that, but it potentially can help alleviate wax build-up.
Yeah, because Mary Cornby, if you're watching this, how are you doing, love? And I hope your husband's feeling better. She talked to me about ear candles the other day, and I was kind of intrigued. Have you ever had shiatsu, Lauren?
No.
Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, if this is not too intrusive, not today, but I'm going to pay for you to come here to do this. Now that you know where it is, because you need to understand or feel it or have your own opinion whether you think what Trudi's saying actually has any effect right now. I'm very fortunate. Not only am I exceptionally good looking, as we can all agree.
Oh, totally.
Thank you. That was a close one. But over the have reflexology, shiatsu, Reiki, and I have to say that they've had a profound effect. I think you would think that with all that great input, I would be the model of a human being. No, I'm modelling myself on the laughing Buddha. You know what I mean? Because I think that if I was just like muscular and chiselled, other people would be distracted, and I don't want them to be distracted. I want them to focus on what is truly important in life. And that, my friend, is part of what Trudi is involved in. Reuniting this balancing. What are you talking about? Explain to the people.
So I can help you restore your energy, rebalance your energy, help your overall wellness and mental health as well, with all the different therapies.
Because we are taught, or not even taught, we're kind of corralled into taking these pharmaceutical, and it pays a lot of people a lot of money, and there's shareholders and all that sort of good stuff. Some medicines which absolutely do us damage, even though they're prescribed, and they're potentially a lot of them for mental health, etc., etc. They are based on a kind of heroin effect, aren't they? Some of them if Donna was here, she'd actually say the right words. You know what I'm talking about, where a lot of people in America have been addicted to pain relief, and it's interesting that the pain relief has gone beyond some sort of physical manifestation, but into a mental manifestation, which, even though they're prescribed for a bad back, they end up being addicted and essentially being hooked on kind of heroin, but done legally so that shareholders get their money. So the cartel that would sell you heroin and cocaine, that you might have seen, like with your Pablo Escobar's, etc., as an example, are now pharmaceutical companies that see the benefit of getting people hooked on a variety of drugs, because they are drugs, even if they're man-made drugs, that affect the psychological and the emotional well-being and the physical well-being of human beings. You're trying to go the opposite, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I don't put words in your mouth, but I can only sense that. That's
I'm trying to help people holistically so that they can go through life naturally and get the support they need in a natural environment. There are obviously loads of medicinal, natural products that you can take as well to help with your wellness, rather than going down the other.
Well, here's the thing. Everything is grown, isn't it? Everything comes. So Einstein, for your scientists out there, because I know that there must be a lot of eager scientists watching this podcast, whatever it's called, podcast, vlog, that, so the second law of thermodynamics, you can either create or destroy energy. Einstein thinks we're all energy. Everything's energy. Everything has an energetic frequency. If you're aware of it, you can better tune yourself to how you're affected by other things and other people. You can allow yourself to be connected to the wider source of energetic fields which come from the whole universe. This is spooky, right? But it's not. It just makes sense that, of course, before there was pharmaceutical companies, there were people, sometimes they were called witches, whoever, that were making potions, and still are in Aboriginal tribes, in Native American tribe, whatever, using natural resources, as you would have to somehow for any chemical thing that you make. You have to get it from the earth, don't you? You don't get it from outer space. So it's all earth-based, but it's how it's processed and how it's digested and how it's actually made available and why it's made available.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, aromatherapy oil, for example, can be done and used medicinally if you get the right product.
Yeah.
And it won't have any adverse side effects.
Yeah.
Reiki can obviously give you a similar feeling of relaxation and restore you without anything.
Yeah. Explain a bit more about Reiki, because I'd like Lauren to have a session of Reiki. You don't have to. This isn't like Blue Peter. You're not one of the things that
yeah,
you have to sort of, this week, Lauren Rogers jumps out of an aeroplane without a parachute.
It's non-invasive, as in we only touch the head, shoulders, knees and toes. And you're going to sing that.
You know I'm not. I am. In my head, I'm singing it. Yeah, go on.
But we cover the eyes, but we're not actually touching. Then we do the ears, then we touch the head, the shoulders. And then we're off the body, but working with the 7 main chakras. Those are the 7 main chakras, colour-wise, and where they start. So they start at the root and go up to the crown. So we work with those, clear them, and then we do the knees and the ankles and the feet, and then we can do the back as well.
So can I just ask you have you heard of what chakra is?
No.
This is perfect. So our conversation on the way here is the kind of introduction to this next explanation of what the 7 chakras are, because this is ancient stuff.
So the 7 main chakras are your main energy centres in your body, and if one of them is out of balance, you will not make the decisions that you would do normally. So they can affect how you make a decision, they can affect how you feel emotionally. So they're all connected to different things, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's communication. So we've got the crown one, the third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, which is just above your belly button, sacral just below, and then the root chakra at the bottom of the spine. So those are the main ones. There are over 30 plus chakras in our body, but we just work with the main 7 ideally to just rebalance everything, because there's a whole host of things you could learn about chakras.
and with
colour, sounds and everything else.
Absolutely. So vibration, colour, vibration as well, so that so all the different senses, hence the different elements. Isn't it interesting? This is ancient known philosophy or understanding of a kind of therapeutic relationship from many ancient civilizations that have been passed on, and sometimes they've been deliberately destroyed so that other types of methodology can be used, one that is more profitable to certain people. For instance, when people talk about spirituality, people freak out because, of course, most people believe that spirituality, I say most people, listen, I don't know how many people, who cares, but people that believe that spirituality is connected to the church or organised religion, quite obviously, if they're intelligent, will go, well, spirituality is not much of a thing because look at what the church has done. But Christian ones purport to follow the teachings of Jesus. He went around saying, hey man, just chill out. I mean, he essentially was a hippie. Went around with his mates, yeah, no mention of what they smoked. Possibly one or two of them smoked stuff. I don't know, just saying, right? Went around, didn't have any houses, didn't have any jobs. There used to be fishermen, used to be taxmen, used to be all these people. And they went around essentially, and he was preaching the idea that to have a balanced and a communal and peaceful life, you needed to share, like the analogy of the bread and the loaves, bread and the fish, 5,000 people. In other words, if we share all these different metaphors that were used in telling of stories and narratives to allow people to live a better life. In a time when Palestine was occupied by the Romans. So ironically, this is always the thing that, so people that live in Palestine now were actually, most of them, lots of them, the old Jewish civilization that were there. They've just, like most people do when they get invaded, sometimes they change, like they did in England when the Romans came, changed from being more, this we talked about Avebury and Stonehenge, where they had, what would you say that was? That's pagan.
I was going to say pagan.
Kind of pagan, and that's a very strict sort of thing. Well, strict, it's a certain type, but a very much nature-driven connection to the earth, where humanity almost revered and kind of did revere nature. At a certain point, and there's lots of theories in this, and Avebury's an interesting one because Julian Cope, the wonderful singer from what's that fantastic band? Well, shut your mouth, Teardrop Explodes.
Come on, Lauren, so.
This is years ago. He did the Antiquarian, the whatever. He wrote a book, and one part that was that when man started, and you'll see this, to move major pieces of stone in alignment with the stars, it's when also, so it was a recognition of of cosmic patterns, times a year, which helped planting, which helped humanity settle down and become farmers, as opposed to wandering around, hunter-gatherers, going around, nomadic people. Just connect somewhere. If you can keep this and rewind it a few times, say, what is he talking about? Jesus. Well, I was talking about Jesus. If he existed in the way that he existed, he's going around saying, hey man, forget about your wealth, forget about things, you need to share and what have you. That's been interpreted into, I'll give an example, Westminster Abbey or Westminster, the place where the Bishop of Canterbury lives. How is that? How are the bishops wearing all this gold and all this sort of silk and everything else while they observe people on a daily basis struggling to feed their children? It's a crime against humanity. Same as the Vatican. All that gold, all that whatever. It's like, come on, if you think that that's what Jesus was saying, in fact, he's probably saying the opposite. So people are very skeptical about spiritual ideas, but actually it's something that we, and you'll know this yourselves, people, will be asking yourselves, why are we here? What is our purpose? It cannot be just to serve rich people and let Sausage Fingers and his mates live in palaces. That is crazy. That's a waste. We're all on here for a purpose. I'm going to come back to you now, because the chakras are connected to this. Because when you know your inner self and you know your connection to nature, you can also take your power from the vibration of nature. I think Ed's a bit of a hippie. Could be. I might think Geordie's a hippie. The Geordie's a hippie. Oh, who's a Geordie's like a hippie? The idea that there's a massive disconnect between how we're taught, how we're brought up, schools, no disrespect to teachers, they do an amazing job under ridiculous circumstances, but we are in a society that is ever more depressed, ever more mental health problems. You can't just be going to the doctors, A, because you can't get an appointment, and B, because you will just be given, you can, please go there and get as much help as you can. But the point being is there are ways that you can seek support for all manner of these afflictions and challenges, that you can, on a regular basis, if you were to partake of these amazing ceremonies that ground you, not grind you, ground you on this planet, which is floating and spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And that doesn't blow your mind and want you to say, look, let's stop everything. Let's just think about that. We're in this cosmic universe. This is amazing. All these amazing quartz crystals, rose crystals, you've got all these different that have come, all these elements that have come into play, that exist because of millions of years of different types of elements hitting our planet from outer space, meteors destroying dinosaurs, but creating other life forms. So, is what you're doing about vibration, is it about connecting with nature, and is it about, when you say rebalancing, it's about our grounding and our happiness? Isn't there a happiness aspect to this?
It's all about your well-being, your happiness, your health, how you mentally look at stuff and being more mindful.
Yeah.
So if you came here for a day retreat, for example, you would have barefoot time outside but blindfolded, so you can enhance the experience much more. You're awakening your senses, you're alerting your senses, you're just spending time purely in a safe environment, experimenting stuff that you perhaps wouldn't make the time for elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many people go outside on barefoot on a daily basis, in the morning without glasses on and in the evening without glasses on, because the dawn and the dusk will help your body reset naturally. Just one tip.
Yeah, well, barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thing. Now that's interesting, because I'm always having to go at my wife, and it's a ridiculous thing, like going outside without shoes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual for me to have shoes on. But
Right,
it was only
no,
because I
of course.
thought I'd be.
Yeah, no, but that's interesting, because I totally get that.
Mm.
I mean, I'm just sort of hypervigilant. I don't want my child to get some of the thorns that are in our garden.
Yeah, I got one of those in my foot the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you do this with Adriana, Trudi is going to get the bill. No, I get it. But here's the unfortunate thing is, and it was really, really made clear during the pandemic, so many people don't have gardens, don't have access to nature. Yeah. And more rich people own more and more property because, of course, part of the whole absurd, non-functioning, quite negative capitalist system is about exploitation and about obtaining as much physical, material good and wealth as you can. Houses, homes. I mean, how can people have more than one home when there are people without homes? A society that's based on that, and yet will it give sausage fingers massive millions of pounds worth of ceremony just to show you that you are poor. Look at me, I've got a gold carriage. I am so wealthy, I have sausages for fingers. I am superhuman. Not me, obviously, I'm talking about you know who, but the point is, it's absurd. People need to wake up and grow up. You can't have organised religion, you certainly can't have royalty, it's just ridiculous. Please, everyone out there, just grow up. And if you still think you should, you haven't thought about it long enough and you haven't read enough books about the truth of it all. But back to nature in the morning, nature in the evening.
As much as possible.
As much as possible. If people can't access it.
Even if somebody's in a work environment and they're really stressed, just taking a cup of tea or whatever their drink is outside and just standing there for 3 minutes will still bring them some kind of relaxation.
Right, so the connection with nature is the thing, isn't it? We said we've got an allotment which our young people benefit from by being connected just to the soil.
I mean, we do sound healing outside with it.
Oh wow, you've got one of
and it brings out. It's such a nice.
Can you just play this just a little bit, just to give? Because come in. Now you get it. Imagine the vibrations that are going through this room now. Would it be possible to film you if we do this thing? Because you don't know anything about it, and it's not a problem. It's just that I know lots about it and I've experienced loads of this, so I would be delighted to partake of Trudi's support and whatever we call this process. You know nothing about it, you'd be really interesting to interview. Could you do it? You don't have to. I'm looking at your dad and mum through this. You don't have to. Yeah, part of the job description, but it might. Just because, do you see what I'm saying? You don't know anything, but yeah, I think so. So can we arrange that one day? We'll do that, and if you don't mind, because I know the various things. I know that's not like the all-seeing eye. It ain't the eye; it's another part of the body that he's more like. So that you can quite from a point of I don't really know much about this to. Wow, or nah, didn't feel anything. And then we all sue Trudi. Through the cosmic courts. This is a Vedic medicine and all that sort of good stuff that we need to know. Right, so tell us a little bit of the formal aspect of this. How do people, so we're going to put your details, Maya, Trudi's 5-element, is it 5-element retreats? Right, this beautiful setting. In Bromham, isn't it?
Yep.
Right. Okay, so it's quite equidistant to lots of places. She's a wonderful human being. Your daughter's helping our young people make films and stuff, and it's really interesting that you're sharing your energy and your positivity, because I think moving forward it is now a new era, isn't it? Whatever the people go, what's he talking about now? He's talking about the age of Aquarius.
More people are awakening to what's out there now.
100%. They have to, because where else are you going to turn?
Exactly.
Alcohol ain't going to do it for you. Pharmaceutical drugs aren't going to drugs or drugs. Politicians completely, political parties absolutely have maybe they haven't let anyone down because they never intended really to lift people up. They were just exploiting you. Organised religion, what are you going to go to? You can't. If we need to maintain some type of collective well-being, not only do we have to look at our capitalist system and how that needs to be realigned and redefined, our system, full stop, opportunity, education, class sizes, the environments that people are expected to learn in, how we support each other, cut out the violence. Let's promote peace, love and understanding. What do you think about that?
If you're in a classroom environment
Yeah.
versus being outside,
Yeah.
which would you prefer?
Horses for courses, because I'm a little bit of a baba. If it was raining up now, I know what you're saying. We are literally, this is part of the reason we come here, because I want to see who we could send to you, even if it was our colleagues, because I think that's a big part of what's missing out of...
We do bespoke events as well for small groups of people. So,
well,
you know.
this is what I'll come here to talk to you about. This is what we want to
They're
happen.
nice. I think they're lovely for a group of people to come together and just find out more about how they can relax, and then you can take stuff at home with you, you know, remembering that
Can I? Yeah,
if you were
yeah,
outside
yeah.
and you were breathing and you were focusing
There
on
you
something, how
go.
you would feel yourself again,
Yeah,
rather than just coming for a day and feeling lovely, but
Yeah.
then you've got
you
something
take
to
it,
away.
so you have it, and I get it, and the symbolism of stones, for instance, you know, I often take stones from significant places. The Elgin marbles of the Parthenon, for instance, not quite as bad as that, but you know, when we're in Croatia, just to remind, but there's something energetic about it. So there's the energy that it's surrounded by, there's the history, all the things that have ever happened, and then to take a piece of it, and when you see it, it's got a few nice bits of crystal as well, but when you see it, it re-engages that remembrance of where it came from and how you felt when you were there.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting you take keystones out of fireplaces or stuff or bridges, but taking elements or bringing elements into your life and, as you say, actually experiencing them firsthand. So part of what we wanted to do today was work out how, with some of the people that we work with, how we could engage you on a professional way to say, actually, Lauren's an experiment, but maybe, you know, we've got a group of young people from Croatia coming over and their teachers to introduce them to this. They may or may not have ever experienced it.
I don't know whether they have or not, but sound.
I would have thought not.
No, sound healing is. I do that once a month as a group session, but I do it 1-to-1 and I do it for bespoke groups as well, because that can bring up or clear anything that needs to be cleared vibrationally wise, but it works on a cellular level as well.
Yeah. What I love about you, can I just say this? I'm a little bit whatever because I can't help myself.
That's fine.
That's the council. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Tell the audience here what you used to do, because that you found this, haven't you? You come through. What did you used to do?
I've done loads. I worked in retail. I've worked as a store detective. I've worked as childminder, babysitter, all sorts.
Keep going.
What more do you want?
Keep going. What else? What people there? Store detective and a what?
Special constable.
Special constable. So this is important.
Yeah, I know.
If you had been born to a white witch, and this is part of your trajectory, and it's like, yeah, my mother, my grandmother did it. It's great, and it's no less valid.
No, yeah.
Right? It's more imbued, maybe. Maybe you've had a hold that you have come to think about the jobs that you do and the people that you observe around you, and think that someone can find the enlightenment, the key to another portal to go into, explore another world. When you've done all the ordinary, not you know, everyone's got a purpose on this life, and I'm not demeaning anyone's existence by any step, but what I say about royalty isn't personal to those individuals, it's to the principle of royalty. It's absurd. On no level does it work. We shouldn't be subservient to people that, unfortunately, have been cast away from the normal sense of community, commonality, common unity, that which unifies us commonly. But people are expected to do all sorts of jobs in our society. Some of them, and the pandemic certainly sorted that out, were not very meaningful. So ask yourself, what were you doing during the pandemic?
I was healing myself, spending time in nature,
Yeah.
enjoying the countryside and offering what I could to people online.
There you go. You fantastic thing.
Because to me, energy is for sharing.
Yeah.
My space I've got is for sharing.
Yeah.
And I just want to help people feel as good as they can with what they can afford to spend on themselves and invest in themselves.
Yeah.
Because why would you not want to feel as good as you can naturally if you can?
If
it's for you, because it's not for everybody. I appreciate that, you know. But there is something out of what we offer here, generally, that most people will find that they like.
Yeah.
So I have some people that come for sound healing on a regular basis, some people that love Reiki, some people love Reiki drumming.
Yeah.
We do monthly drumming, we do monthly Reiki shares, we do mini retreats, which are just 2 hours long. So if those people that can't justify, a whole day, they can just have 2 hours, and we can do. But we work with the energy on the day. So if people say, what is a retreat involving, it depends on the energy. So I only have 6 people at an event, because that way we can be inside or out, depending, so the weather doesn't dictate.
Yeah. Perfect.
The only other thing we do that might be bigger would be the shamanic pipe ceremony, which we do, which is outside in the back garden.
I like a shamanic pipe, mind.
If you want to come to the next one, let me know.
Yeah, you know what though, I was thinking, do you think you could maybe do like a drum circle or something in our shop in Candu?
Don't see why not.
Do you know what I mean? And to advertise your wares. I don't know if that's even a word that you can apply to this, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I'm with you, I think that allowing people the access, these things are very middle class normally, right? They are. People who have got to a certain level, not always, but mainly, all these different types of homeopathy and everything else. It's because they're generally educated people who've come to the conclusion that there must be more to life and start looking for other solutions.
Yeah,
I wish more people like what I am, the underclass I like to call myself, were immigrants, economic immigrants and other people from who find it hard on a day-to-day basis just to feed their children or themselves, to be able to partake of such beautiful things, to uplift them. If they don't need it, I don't know who does. Right?
I totally agree.
So that's my little thing. I want to share that with the people that we work alongside. Well, I'm very proud to do that. Not because, hey, look at me, I went, nah.
No, it's not about that.
It's uplifting, and it just happens that the people and the families that we work with are fantastic and they're inspiring. So it's a give and take scenario. It might look like it's going one way, but actually it's always going 2 ways. Yeah, always. Especially if you understand the flow of energy.
Yeah, exactly.
You do. I've seen a smile on your face. Yeah. So, tell you what we're going to do. We will do this in 3 stages. We'll organise a workshop. Sam watches this, probably not, because basically they've had enough of me talking this at work. A workshop of sorts in our shop this summer. Maybe get our Croatian guests to come over for a day as well. We'll talk to Donna about this. Lauren, you need to... And then maybe that time if we can see what we can do on that day, you do the Reiki and go through a whole system of things, if you don't mind. Do not want to think, my boss at work is making me taking loads of healing and positive, energetic sort of things. He's trying to make me feel happier in life. What's that about? Don't know why that. Honestly, I'm possessed by these various characters. I just want everyone to know this. I realise it now, that I'm kind of not in the driving seat a lot of the time of the characters in my head. They're there. They come out in certain ways. They're there to communicate certain things to general people. General? Yes, sir. Major complaint. General. Corporal. Right. So, workshop in the shop.
Yep.
Workshop in the shop. The social hub of positivity with this lovely woman, Trudi Speirs, and the 5 elements. Look out for that. It is now July. Is it not?
It is.
Right. I don't know when we're putting this this thing out. Maybe this Sunday. I don't know. But let's organise this workshop so you can meet this wonderful person and you can sign up for it if you happen to be coming to Chippenham or in Chippenham at the marvellous Emery Gate shopping centre in Chippenham. We'll do this outdoor one that week. Let's book that in so you can, unless you're away. Are you away? Why are we doing our diary on thing? I don't know. Anything else you want to say? How much does this sort of thing cost? Just give people an idea.
£45 an hour.
£45 an hour.
£25 a half hour.
Yeah.
But generally an hour is beneficial.
Okay. Any chance you can have 5 minutes? Yeah. What are you joking, man? You're more than worth every penny.
However, the mini retreats are £25 a person, so you get 2 hours for £25.
Cool. I think that's what we'll do, actually.
There is a membership scheme on my website where you can sign up and pay different things to get obviously different packages.
Yeah.
And the day retreats are currently £75 a person.
How long is that?
10 till 4. And that
10 till 4.
includes lunch and all your refreshments
Yeah,
and all of the
that's
extras.
actually really good. I think we might do that with the... I don't know, there's so many things we want to do with them. This sounds great though. I'm definitely going to do the thing with you filming, and not as it's happening, you have to before, yeah? Because there's nothing like a real person doing it to say, because I think everyone says, oh, you lot are weird. It's like, no.
I mean, I can do demos in your shop if you want
In
to.
our shop?
Reiki.
I would
so
love you to.
people could
Do it.
experience it because
Hold a second. Let's
to
do
me, I
that.
think
You don't
it's
want to do it there though, do you?
I
Would
think
you do
for
that?
Lauren, if she wanted to experience it properly,
Yeah.
in a quieter environment, it's better.
Yeah.
But there's no
Not
pressure.
anywhere near my mouth.
Yeah, preferably away.
Yeah, no.
We love you, Ed.
No, it's true, but it's true, but it needs to be filmed. So I don't mind. Oh, I know, I've got a great idea. You and Maya come over. I know, I like it. Yeah, I'd like to be out in the garden.
Yes.
Yeah. Just we do the podcast, and you have the thing before, during, and after. Get Maya to come in and do a little bit of filming as it's happening. So the people, I want it for the people that don't know to start to know, and then they'll go, oh my goodness, this is.
Yeah.
This, when you get the clue, is in nature that you can find this energy, and you know, there's a lot of way too much depression, unnecessary. A lot of this about just feeding your kids and putting a roof over your head, and that's disgraceful. So anyone that's got more than one house, I mean, maybe think about that. Oh, I'm there, it's my retirement fund. Well, then we shouldn't have a society that thinks that depriving other people of houses is a good way forward. Anyway, but on a much bigger note than that, Trudi Speirs, everyone, 5 Elements, coming to you in the Can-Do Arts social hub of positivity very soon. I'm talking in weeks. We need to advertise it though.
Yeah.
Right, so should we put this out on Sunday? Also, I just want to say a big thank you to Rich Swatton and everyone at Minty who've just been booked for next year, and the wonderful No Flip who are going to go on the main stage. Just dropping some hints about what's happening at Minty. Come to Minty Festival and do it there. Have a healing. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, I know you are.
Rich, I don't know if you're watching this. This is what we should be doing. Have a little tent with you doing that, because it's in a field and you just take a little thing and people can do it in the mornings and stuff, and in the evenings do these ceremonies and be part of this. Come on, you're going to do it?
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Make it accessible.
Sage and
In the
joining
shop.
ceremony,
Yeah,
cleansing and
yeah.
vibration.
Yeah, in the festival. Kushti. Right. Let's talk to Rich Swatton, and there's wonderful directors at Mighty Festival and all the organisers and volunteers. Blessed be. Peace, love and understanding, people. Watch out, it's a new political party coming your way
Thank
in
you.
Chippenham town. Nice.
Spinning out.